After all this, Robert Lefebvre moves to Colorado Springs, which is still heavy libertarian area. I was just out there, and something a friend of mine said to me when I told him I was going out and doing shows in Colorado Springs is that's the only place I've ever seen a guy wearing a cowboy hat with white dreadlocks. It's real fucking...
The marketplace of ideas is alive.
It's real, like, compound territory. And probably in part thanks to the legacy of the school that Robert Lefebvre founded on his journalism earnings.
The white dreadlock school.
Yeah. The Rob Zombie Institute for Free Market Economics.
Dragulas and Dragula ideas. Dracula ideas.
The Free Market School. Or, I'm sorry, the Freedom School. It's called the Freedom School.
Good name. Much better than Theotosis or whatever it was.
Theosophy.
I'm fucking so mad at it.
The Freedom School is a libertarian educational organization, that's in quotes, where he gives lectures on his theory. Lefebvre's theory is this thing called autarchism, so like autonomy / anarchism. It's a portmanteau. Kind of like theosophy.
Wow, it's just like theosophy.
Rolls right off the tongue, right? He gives lectures from 1957 to 1968. In 1963, he decides to add the Rampart College, an unaccredited 4-year school with which it would share a campus and a press. So they needed the money. I think Charles Koch hooked this up, but basically he needs more resources, so he smashes the Freedom School together with Rampart College, which is an unaccredited 4-year libertarian school.
So Lefebvre is even at the outset technically it's a phebophilia guy. Is that like a class at this school? How does that sweep an entire generation?
It might as well be. It's like, right, I mean, that's the question here. Why do they all have these fucking specific
why
things
is
in
like
common?
a 13-year-old girl bearing a child on the masthead of libertarianism?
He wrote like a book about that too. It was a novel.
Of course he did, man. I don't understand why that's part of this.
Well, in the novel, it's about like an economics genius who is continually interrupted by a young girl who wants to have sex with him, and so over the course of the novel,
and she should be allowed to. She should be allowed to.
No one thinks about what these girls want. It's called sapiosexuals, and it's a real condition where you desire learned men.
Yeah, well, that's how he handles it. Is he just talks to her about economic theories?
God, it sucks.
I mean, it does follow the same rationalization that you take to every other tiny facet of the market, where if there's no rules involved, of course you're going to get child workers and you're going to get child brides because they can't say no to you, and it's just power dynamics. But just the fact that that is on the forefront of every discussion with a libertarian is mind-boggling.